What's going on, everyone? Hi, my name is Mitchell Coleman, and I am an alcoholic. And I am here to help everyone because we're all in this together. And everyone helps me. And that has always been my goal in my recovery, in my sobriety. And I gotta say, I've had many slip ups, many setbacks in my recovery. That doesn't mean I'm not in recovery. And someone said something recently that was really cool. It was just like you had a slip, but you didn't continue to slide. And recovery is so much more than just alcoholism or drug addiction because it's so much deeper than that. There is definitely things we cannot do, but we have other ailments that are going on in our minds, at least for me, that is much deeper than alcoholism. And that's where we can get tripped up and not want to deal with those things, so we choose to do other things and substances to self-medicate, to not think about bad things that are happening, bad things that have happened, or bad things that most likely will never happen, but we choose to not think about it, so we'll get hammered. But I'm working with my sponsor again and starting over on the steps, and it is a very humbling experience because it's cunning and baffling, and you don't see these things happening. You don't see that you can resort back to your old ways. And that's what happened with me. And I have to recognize that. So understand the thought processes that I was going through getting back into my old way of thinking. And a lot of us do that. So I've had many of relapses. And that's such a big deal, but it's also something that we can overcome, and you become stronger from it. They say relapse is part of recovery. So you don't want to stay stuck in that cycle of addiction, because that's how it happens. But he gave me some cool homework that I did, and I can't wait to start over on these steps again, which really we should always be doing the steps. I know a lot of people don't like AA, and that's okay. But, I realize I absolutely love AA, and I have always loved AA, but I started getting into the mindset of like, I read a lot of really good books and I know a whole lot now about psychology and all this stuff. But bottom line is, AA is the thing that saved me over everything. So it is for me. But here's what homework he gave me. So if any of you guys are struggling, if anyone randomly comes across this video, you should find yourself a sponsor. You should do this first, is what he has me doing. Read pages 17 through 43 in the big book, and also read pages 21 through 24 in the 12 and 12 book. And then he also put other readings on the step appropriate to your particular 12-step program. And he had me answer these questions, which I'll go over with him tomorrow. The first question is, what does it mean to admit something? Question number 2, why do you think the step says we admitted rather than I admitted? Question number 3, what does the term powerless over alcohol mean? And 4, what does the term our lives had become unmanageable mean? And I just got to say, I've already wrote a whole lot, and I just want to keep writing about this because it's like, holy crap. It's so deep. All this stuff is so deep. And if you've made mistakes and you've slipped up, that doesn't mean it's over. You're still here. You have those chances to continue to become better. You are not that person that made the mistake, especially because you're here, especially because you're looking to get better, or you wouldn't be seeing this video, or you're just one of my friends seeing it, or someone that cares about me. regardless, we can apply this stuff to everything in our lives. Um, it's just a great way to be a good person, you know? Like, just for example, it says, why do you think it says we admitted rather than I admitted? Because it lets you know that AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, is a family and we can't do this thing alone. You try to do it alone. And again, this is for me and a lot of other people. And I've tried to do it alone. It's so hard. It's so hard to do it alone. And you get to a point where you're like, I don't need meetings all the time. I can do this. That doesn't work for me because I need to talk to other people like me. I love this literature. I love everything about it. I love all the people that I've met through there that are in my life because they know. And that's what it is. It says we admitted, not I admitted, because that's being kind of like, you know, it's too solo sounding. We admitted lets you know that we admitted, like if you're working with a sponsor or a sponsee, we're just like you. I am just like you. We are all the same and we can all do this together because it's been proven that it can work. And you just have to remember to not let a lot of the other stuff, the politics of groups and people, because you do have to remember it's a bunch of people. We all share a common denominator of alcoholism. And that doesn't mean we're going to agree with everything as much as we would like to. And it says that in the big book, as much as they would like to, you know, not offend people, it's going to be hard when we're talking about psychology. We're talking about traumas and religion and that kind of stuff. But we admitted lets you know that there's a family and I'm right there with you. You're right there with me. There's nothing to be ashamed about. And, you know, we can do this thing together, like everything. Because I've sat in shame and guilt, and you're just like, why would I do that? Why would I do that? And you don't know. I do know the last time that I had relapsed, I chose to do it. I knew what I could do, and I chose not to do it because I chose to not think. I did not want to think about all the crap that was going on, the shitstorm of my life. And I consciously chose to not call my sponsor, not go to a meeting, not talk to anyone about it. And I went and got drunk by myself. And it was disgusting and it was gross. That's it. Horrible. It wasn't fun one bit at all. And it left a stain of shame and guilt and instantly made me more depressed and lingered around for quite a while because, you know, the scariest part about a relapse is that you do want to continue to do it because why not? You already fucked up, so continue to do it. And it's like how strong that is to not continue to do it because let me tell you, as many of you know, a relapse is no fun whatsoever. And, you know, we can do this together, and this is a good way to start. You know, just read those pages I mentioned and answer those questions, be honest with yourself. And, you know, what does it mean to admit something? Admit something makes yourself, admitting something is a complete vulnerability. And you could admit something good or something bad. When it comes to addiction to alcohol or other addictions, admitting something is very brave, and most of us don't want to do it. And that's usually the thing that is our biggest weakness, our biggest flaw that is going to cause us to relapse or stay in addiction in the first place. Because it's usually something we feel we should be ashamed of, or we think has to be a secret. We think we're the only one going through it. And there's so many reasons people can do this stuff, but that's admitting. Admitting is just being humble. I've got this problem, and telling someone else this is one of the bravest things you can do, because what's the other option? You can't do that, you know. I know I can't. I have to be able to admit something. And really, I've had many many times in my life where I didn't admit things, and all that shit comes to light. No matter what it is, it will come to light. And I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to be able to know what is important and know that those times are still going to happen, that I get super depressed and sad and anxious and worried about things that probably won't happen or have happened, and you want to hold resentments against people and be angry, and none of that shit matters. It doesn't matter. And we're allowed to say that. Yes, we've made mistakes, but we're allowed to be who we are today. We're allowed to make that conscious choice to be someone different today. And today I am not that person. Today I am a kind person, and I am back on just wanting to help people, because, you know, when I've had relapses before, all of a sudden I'm like, I'm a fucking hypocrite, you know? And it's like, no, I'm not a hypocrite. I'm exactly what I'm here to do. I'm exactly the person I'm trying to help. And that's okay. It doesn't matter how much time of sobriety you have. We're all the same. All we have is today. We have today. And that's the most important thing. And I'm happy to be able to admit stuff. And that's why it's so good to have a sponsor or have an accountability partner. God, communication is key to everything. Communication is so key to everything. Every aspect of our life, communication. If we communicate things in a proper, polite way, and we offend someone, okay, then we offended someone, and we don't have to deal with that again. And we don't have to deal with that person again, but we're allowed to tell our wants and needs, and also tell our problems and our faults. And it's all so connected. And yeah, I'm rambling already. It's been a while. I've just been trying to wrap my head around life, wrap my head around a whole lot of things, and I've lost track and lost focus of what is really important to me. And what's really important to me is just continuing on the path that I've had for many years now, regardless of people, places, or things that I chose to allow to set me back, that I chose to put myself in that situation. And I am the one that chose to react the way I did. And we all have that choice, because we are the ones in control of ourselves, no one else. And it's so difficult, so freaking hard, and we have so many emotions going through our minds, and such is the life of an alcoholic or an addict. And for me, it's like I am made of happiness. I am a person that just wants to love, but I'm also a person that's made many mistakes, you know, and I'm not going to stop trying to love, because that's what life's all about. We want to have someone. We do. We do. And sometimes it's easier said than done. But I know for me, isolation can be very detrimental to my growth. It's been a rough one, but I can't point any fingers at anyone else other than myself for what has happened. And it's this has happened a few times in my life. And for anyone else that's going through things, or has recently had one, or feels like they might go through a relapse, or are entertaining the thought of it already, I hope this video reaches you, and I hope you can reach out to me, because man, I need you guys more than ever, because it's been real scary lately. It's just been scary, you know, getting home from work and driving home, and I am feeling that thought. I'm recognizing the old thoughts coming in that didn't happen before. That did happen before many years ago, but all of a sudden happening more again now. And it's just hard. And I'm just happy to have my sponsor to work with again, because man, I just stopped reading the big book, and the big book is good. It's so good. And just reading it again today was such a breath of fresh air. And I'm just like, oh my God, you just get it a different way each time you read it, each period, different periods in your life. And, you know, I've done a ton of daily reflections videos, and I wasn't reading the big book anymore. And I'm just like, because I got in my own stagnant life of, nah, I got this, daily reflections, which I do love, and I'm going to keep doing those. But I'm like, I don't need it. I don't need that. I don't need AA as much as I think I do. I've got this. And I'm just fortunate to be here. And yeah, a 15-minute video. I hope any of you guys got something good for this. For everyone else, out there that has been there for me during this very difficult process changing of my life right now. I love you guys, and life is beautiful. I love life. I'm just happy to be where I am. I'm happy to be sober. I'm happy to have my own place again. I'm happy to be driving. I'm happy to have a decent job. I'm happy to be a father to two amazing girls, and I'm just going to continue to focus on that, and what else comes along, or whatever else comes along, I guess I'll deal with them, but I'm going to deal with it in a positive way, and I'm going to make sure that I don't allow things in my life that are going to cause me any stress anymore, any more problems. And it's very scary because you don't see these things that will eventually happen. That's life. Things happen, and you can either hide from life, or you could take a chance with life. And I'm going to take a chance with life. I'm going to expose my vulnerability to people that I don't see any signs of them hurting me. Of course, there's people you want to keep out of your life because there is still a chance that maybe I don't know about this too much, but, red flags. I'm going to continue to have an open heart and blah, blah, blah. And one day at a time, you guys. I love you, and I hope you guys loved this. I'm going to make some other videos how I answered these questions better. And I'm happy to be here. I love you guys. Bye.